your pocket.
Thank you.
So,
I'm taking roll call.
then you thought I could.
Right? Right.
Just so you understand. I done Oh. When I did your vision, I had a
Came in through the police door. Where's my do?
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Would everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mayor Pro Tem Ambrose will now give the invocation.
Dear Heavenly Father, help us make decisions that are in the best interest of our residents and our businesses here. Help us to be fair and just in those decisions. We ask this in your almighty and powerful name. Amen.
Roll call, please.
Kathleen?
Here.
Ambrose?
Here.
Kelsey?
Here.
Black? Here. Ruben?
Here.
Olsnick?
Here.
Robertson?
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum. Are there any requests for agenda changes this evening? Anyone? No? Okay. Okay, we have a presentation tonight by our library director, Allison Robert. There she is.
Thanks for having me tonight. I am actually here for two different library-related items to discuss. The first thing I have is some good news. Congressman Dave Trott's office recently notified me that the Walled Lake City Library was nominated for the Institute of Museum and Library Services National Medal. The National Medal honors outstanding libraries and museums that contribute significantly to the well-being of their communities. So just being nominated is a very big honor. So I wanted to share that good news. I also wanted to ask council if it would be willing to write a letter of support for our nomination. Essentially what you do is once you're nominated, you fill out a lot of paperwork to go with the nomination, and you submit 3 letters of support from organizations that you're in partnership with, and essentially the City of Walled Lake is our very big partner and our biggest supporter.
I think that would be very nice. Do we have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll support that.
Support? Okay, no, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you. Of course. Additionally, I wanted to share with you a project the library will be embarking on this springtime. So basically at the library, we have been focusing on adding more science, technology, engineering, and math topics into our youth programming. We're working on establishing a butterfly curriculum where we will put butterfly habitats on display inside the library and essentially raise caterpillars until they grow into butterflies. We have a patron of the library who is also a Walled Lake resident, Jamie Lynch, who's very passionate about this subject and about butterflies, and she's generously volunteered her time to help the library establish this project. So we're really excited for the opportunity for people of all ages, particularly the children, to witness the metamorphosis of real live butterflies just right in our library. So to partner with us in this project, our Friends of the Library volunteer group has agreed to give us a portion of their volunteer garden outside of the library front door to dedicate that portion to butterfly-friendly plants. This will allow us to release our butterflies and to further enhance the area around our new patio, which our patrons, I should add, are really enjoying. So we'd also like to partner with the city on this project if you're interested. The library's butterflies will need specific plants in order to survive after they're released. To help assure the success of this project, the library's requesting your permission to plant half of the stormwater ditch in front of City Hall with native plants that are butterfly friendly. It'll give the butterflies another place to thrive. The library has a $200 cash donation commitment to purchase some of these native plants for this butterfly-friendly habitat. And our library board president, Barb Garbett, who is a retired educator, will assist us in outreaching to neighboring schools so that the library can kind of coordinate this effort for a library school project beginning next spring, in addition to the program we'll do inside the library. I gave you guys on your sheet some of the plants that the Huron River Watershed Council suggested that would go inside that storm ditch. So native plants wouldn't just aid the butterfly population, but they're beneficial for a lot of different reasons. So are there any questions? Can I?
Any questions from anyone?
Sounds like a great project.
That's a perfect project.
Right.
I'm thinking, how about that, the creek here along the side of the city property? Is that?
That's
more-
another idea.
Is that more beneficial, or is it out of the way, and, you know, I don't worry about kids in the street or whatever watching butterflies?
Yeah, and we wouldn't do any of the
No.
programming at the ditch.
Right.
Would you like to keep the kids away from the street? But that's a good alternate if we don't want to do it in the storm ditch. I think that's a great idea.
Okay.
So just something to think about.
Okay, why don't we do a motion and give them their choice of whichever site they decide they want.
Yeah, whatever works.
Was that
You
your
don't have to bring water.
Is that your motion, whatever
Yeah,
works?
that way, whatever you feel is in the best interest of raising butterflies.
Fair enough. We can investigate the other side as well.
I'll support that.
Okay, is there support? Okay. Roll call, please.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Elke,
Yes.
Locke,
Yes.
Lublin,
Yes.
Osnick,
Yes.
Robertson,
Yeah.
Ackley.
Yes. Okay, you're all done. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Okay, approval of the minutes of the council meeting of August 15th, 2017. I would like a motion, please.
I'll make a motion.
Is there support?
Support.
Support. Is there any discussion on the motion? Roll call, please.
Elke,
Yes.
Locke,
Yes.
Lublin,
Yes.
Osnick,
Yes.
Robertson,
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, we're now moving on to audience participation. If there's anyone who would like to speak, I would ask that you approach the podium, give your name, address, and you have 3 minutes.
Pastor Dan Lawfer, 1488 Dover Hill North. I wanted to comment that we're happy that you filed suit against the school district on behalf of this continuation of the CEC building. And I hope that everything will work out, and I'd like to assure you that whoever wins the election, the upcoming election, my intention anyway is to continue that process. I think it's a great idea. Well, I was wondering about the Riley Park. I keep going down there because I like the bank's house, and I'd like to see it open. But I look at Riley Park, and my goodness, it really needs some refurbishing. There's some weeds and thistles all over the place. And the playground equipment itself is kind of ratty. The gazebo is falling apart. There's nails sticking out and everything else. And there's boards that are missing entirely, and it needs to be repainted. So I wonder, I talked with some people, and some of them said they'd be willing to volunteer to do some of the work. Anyway, some of the non-specific specialized work. And I wonder if that's in anybody's bailiwick, if any. Is there a Parks and District job, or who would we work with if I were able to get some volunteers? That's the question. And well, anyway, think about it. And regarding the Banks House, I intend to always refer to that as a Banks House, not just a farmhouse. I realize that the insurance company calls it a farmhouse, and that's all right. But I'm wondering if we'll ever get to the point where we simply say, okay, enough is enough stalling. can the city pay for the audit? If there must be an audit before we can, can't we just open the books? They're open, the books are wide open as far as the volunteer organization, I'm on it. And I know how much they have, they don't have enough money to do an official audit. They never will have enough money to do an official audit because they believe that the city is stalling. For whatever reason, I don't know why. But anyway, I hope that mindset will change. Thank you.
Mayor, can I respond to that?
Yes, sir, you may.
The candidate is now volunteering with the nonprofit to collect money, so he's close to the collection plate. The reason the farmhouse doesn't have any money, we don't know. They've collected thousands of dollars through the years. The history tells us that. I've talked with cash donors who's given $5,000 checks. We have no way of accounting for that, even though it's the law, it's in their rules. You're part of that now, you're close to the money, so you should know a little bit about audits. The only people who have volunteered in the last 7 years to be inside and physically do the work are sitting up here. The only ones. I didn't see anybody coming, on the weekends, building anything, doing plaster, doing any of that. That's been done by council members before they ever ran, quietly on the weekend, without trying to get the open credit for it. And then you come up and imply that it's their job. They've been volunteers, they've been cash donors, they've been volunteers. The responsibility of that farmhouse is with the nonprofit. It has failed miserably as a nonprofit. There's no doubt about that. And I'm the guy who called out the audit process. They've collected hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you now control the money, then you bring us the audit and tell, yes, you do. You just said it. You just said it. You're down there, you say you're part of the nonprofit. The nonprofit has failed in its mission. You're trying to shift it to the city. It was created as a nonprofit to do what you're suggesting somebody here didn't do. And they actually are the only ones who volunteered.
Why can't we get into
Four of
the
them up here have
house?
been in there doing work, and I'm the guy who's been taking the meals down on the weekends and feeding them voluntarily. They spent their own money, their own time, and so as a candidate, you stand up and imply that they didn't do something. It's just fake news.
Why can't we get into the house?
You're the one that's in charge of the nonprofit. I do not know the answer to that,
Why
but I
are we
resent
told
that you
every
were.
time we get near the house that
I've never told you anything.
we'll be trespassing?
Mr.
Why are we
Lafford.
told that by the council?
I don't know that. I know that you seem to make stuff up.
So we can get in there, we can get in the house now.
I'm not giving, I don't have the key to that. Talk to the nonprofit. You're implying somebody here in the city
Okay.
and my management of the farmhouse.
Cheryl.
It's your responsibility because you're a member.
Cheryl Flammer
You're
will
turning
be-
it into a political issue
Cheryl Flammer-
because you're a candidate, and I resent it.
No, I resent your charge.
Good. Give us
Cheryl
the audit.
Flammer will
You're
be
in charge
glad
of
to
the money.
know
Give
that-
us the audit. They
Cheryl
collected
Flammer will
hundreds
be
of
glad-
thousands of dollars and they've not audited for years. I've been here 7 and haven't been able to get it. And you're
Cheryl
saying that
Flammer-
somehow management is not doing its job? We're the only ones that have done
Mayor,
anything.
can you
to
shut
say.
him down? He's not even supposed to be responding to
He
audience
asked
participation.
permission to respond.
I can talk just like you can,
Yeah.
Susan.
Well, I'm
It's the
talking.
law.
Just,
You're not authorized to talk.
Cheryl Flammer will be glad to know that we now
I-
have access to the house.
I was the one that advised Cheryl Flammer that we had been told that because the individuals did not have insurance coverage, they could not go in there, plus the fact they had not supplied us with an audit.
So it's still back to the audit.
It's the audit and the fact that they are not insured. So, that's,
He doesn't
There we go
understand.
again,
He's
the insurance.
misstating what's going
No,
on.
I
It's a
have not
nonprofit.
misstated
Yes, you
anything.
are, Mr. Laffer. You are.
My name isn't Laffer, my name is Lawfer.
Okay.
Please,
Okay,
please get it
Lawford.
right.
Mr. Lawford,
All right.
you're misstating. The job to do the farmhouse lies with your organization. The job to report to the audience where the money went for the last 20 years is your job now. You
Okay.
just said it was. You're
Let
using
me
it as
ask
a political
one-
tool
let
to
me-
attack
Let me ask one
administration.
question. One
You
question.
ask all the questions you want, if the mayor will
Thank
let
you.
you.
Okay, may I?
I'll do battle with you. You're
I'm not
you're
interested
full
in
of
doing
fake
battle
news
with
and
anybody.
nonsense.
What I'm interested in is
whoa,
getting
whoa, whoa,
that
whoa, whoa,
house
just a minute.
on.
Excuse me, just a
open
minute.
and used.
Just a minute, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Does the council want to allow a couple more questions and then we'll end this
Please do,
discussion?
because please,
anyone
I'm
have any
asking council,
objections?
let him talk, because
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead,
Go ahead.
do your thing, Mr. Laffer.
Have you responded to Cheryl Clammer's recent email?
Yes, I did.
Thank you. That's the only thing I wanted to know. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, next person, please.
Dennis Burks, 206 Spring Park, Walton Lake. And I have a timer too. Who gave the orders to remove the signs off of private property, the election signs? It's a civil rights violation and it's stealing. There will be papers filed with Oakland County Police Station.
To my knowledge,
It's not your knowledge. Who gave the order?
Finish
Who-
your statement
Who
and
went
then
out
I'll
and
finish
did it either on their own or with orders?
finish your statement and then I will answer.
Right, like a bike here. Why is L. Dennis Witt, if that's your real name, I have another one here for you. You had 7 years. The city charter says you have to live in the city of Wall Lake. Why do you not live? Why does he not live in the city of Wall Lake? I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to her.
When you're finished, I will answer you.
Yeah, right up. Yeah, because everything that
Excuse
goes
me?
on here, everything that goes on here.
What did you say?
What did I say?
Yeah, I didn't hear you.
Play it back. You know, everything that goes on here at City Hall, she knows about, he knows about. So, this is gonna get real nasty here within the next month. He does not live in the city limits with the city charter states he does. It doesn't matter with the police force in Detroit. You don't have to live in Detroit to be a policeman. Yes, you do. That does not apply here. It's the city charter. Okay? I was on the phone for 45 minutes this morning with Lansing at the Bureau of Elections. A lot of interesting things. Very interesting. You will find out later about that also. Anybody that has anything, concerns about the election, they request that you contact elections at michigan.gov as soon as possible. Why is Gabriel Costanza's name on the Zoning Board of Appeals? He's not on the Zoning Board of Appeals. He declined that position after somebody, what I would consider, tried to bribe him with other positions when he applied for the DDA. His name is right here. This was recorded. This was printed off of your website yesterday evening. As far as this election commission, I have Terry Monroe and Michelle Toplowski, I believe it is, expired in 2014, or expired in 2015. I have found something on your website that said Jennifer.
Okay, your time is up.
Yeah, so is yours. Thank you. You've been more than useless as usual.
Okay, go ahead.
No orders have been given to remove any signs.
Why would they remove that?
No order was given
Sir,
by
he is
anybody.
responding to you. Please sit down.
He's a liar.
Quiet. He didn't interrupt you, so please sit down.
No orders have been given by my office, by the police chief's office, or by code enforcement to remove any sign, even though every sign out there that's up before the 30-day requirement is illegal and a violation of the law.
Not on private property.
Doesn't matter.
One more outbreak and I will ask you to be removed from the audience.
I'll do you a favor.
Okay, that's fine.
The placing of the signs out before the code is a violation. It's not something that I care about, and I'm not going to point out the 16 or 17 sign locations. Those are violations, and when you don't follow the rules, it's simply an indicator how your future activity is going to be. Putting a sign out and saying our code is illegal without going to court and challenging it and having the court determine that it was illegal is inappropriate, and it just shows the kind of activity. Yes, there's all the signs that are out now that are on private property are in violation of our code. If you don't challenge the code, then you're in violation. Does it matter? I don't think the citizens of Wall Lake care. They're cluttering it up. The sign ordinance exists for a reason, so it doesn't look like a mess. all year long. When you think you're special and you can write a post or a letter and say you can violate the code, that just shows how special you are. I think the people of Wall Lake will get that. I think they're offended that the signs are out, and putting them on public property is also another violation. And we haven't been picking any of those up. If it gets out of control to the point that I will give the order, but that's a misstatement. It's just a falsification altogether. There was no signs taken by any of my people at all, nobody who works for me. There was a report by Mr. Lawford that somebody stole his sign. He did that to get attention, he made a police report, he got attention, looked at me, he posted on his social web, and then the sign mysteriously reappeared. So again, it's all about him getting attention, him trying to run. If that works, bless your heart. You know, I hope the people recognize you for what you really are, and that is pretty much fake news. I'm sorry, anything else?
I would like the city attorney to respond why we cannot force any employee to live in the city of Wall Lake. It has been challenged.
Because there's a state law